Well, it's time to talk about hair that grows away from your locks yet again. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Atreyu Locs channel. I'm Atreyu, a semi-freeformer who is dedicated to bringing you the best tips to grow a healthy set of locks. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. I am glad to have you. So I got some comments that I'm going to be reading and discussing today. One or two is a question, and then the last one is just a feel-good lock comment. So yeah, let's get right to it. So this comment comes from Shadow of the Morning 19. The person says, is it cool to dry the locks but gently shaking it? I understand that it's not recommended to shake it too hard, but what if you're gentle about it? I told this person that if they insist on shaking their locks, then something that they can do is, and obviously this will depend on how long their locks are, but they can grab their locks with one hand, or if they're super short, maybe two hands, separate the locks, put them in two hands and grip them and then shake. All of the excess moisture should be at the tips of your locks anyway, regardless of the length, right? Because of gravity will pull that water down to the tips. So really all you need to do is shake that excess moisture from the tips. So grab the locks in your hand and then shake. This will alleviate the extra tension that's being applied to your scalp when you're shaking, if you were just shaking them freely, right? Because the locks, with that extra moisture at the tips, plus the weight of the lock is going to be pulling on your scalp. So to minimize that effect, and you can just grip them and then shake. Kind of like when you had loose natural hair and you were trying to detangle, you know how you would grip the hair and then comb out the tips and then work your way up. But the reason that you gripped the hair was so that it minimized the pulling by the comb of the hair from the scalp, right? It's that same concept, okay? So if you need to shake your locks in this manner, then I suggest you do it that way. The next question comes from Walking Corpse, and this person says, hi, I am my boyfriend's personal barber, LOL, and it has been a huge learning experience for me. I just started his dreads using the 2-strand twist method in the hopes that it would prevent what is happening to your dreads. First of all, what was happening to my dreads, because that video is like so old now, but moving on. So I just want to know your opinion, or anyone else's, on what is the root cause of this. Is it too much tension put on the scalp initially that is breaking the root? So as I told this person, the hair is not breaking. I don't know why this is such a difficult concept. I don't know if people aren't watching the whole video, because I clearly said it in the video that it's not from, and other videos, that it's not from the hair is breaking. It's new growth. It's new hair growing out of my scalp that is not growing into the lock. I have, as many of you already know, hair that grows away from my locks. That means that as that new growth comes out of your scalp, it doesn't go into the lock, okay? And I think, as I have postulated before, I think it has to do with texture combined with the varying hair life cycles that I have going on with my hair, meaning I think they're staggered, and so different hairs are being shed at different times, and then that new growth that's coming, those new hairs, because a new hair life cycle is beginning, it's not growing into the lock. I have a video where I go into more detail about this, but that is my theory, okay? Anyway, regardless of whether or not you believe in the phenomenon of hair growing away from your locks, obviously there are many of us who are dealing with this, and also many of whom don't know what it is and just assume that it's breakage, because that's the easy default, or some loctician told them that that's what's happening, okay? It's not happening to me. I'm sorry, I know I may seem a little bit like tight right now, but it's like, think outside the box, people. Everything is not, there's not a simple answer to everything. And just because you don't know it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. No aggression, no hate to Walking Corpse and many others who have commented like this, and some others who have actually insisted that my hair is breaking. Case in point, I haven't done anything to my hair and it still grows like that. So I haven't combed, if it stays moist, if I wear a satin bonnet every night, and I use satin pillowcases every night, and it's up 99.9% of the time, how in the heck can it be breakage? It's not. So please don't try to tell me what my own hair is doing, okay? I know what's going on. Sorry, I needed to get that out. But seriously, for those of you who don't know, there's such a thing as hair growing away from your locks. And that's what I have, and that might be what you have. And yes, it may resemble breakage. But it could very well not be. And if you find that you're not doing anything to your hair that would cause it to break, in fact, you've been very on top of doing things to prevent breakage, then yeah, you probably have hair that grows away from your locks. Now, as I was saying, regardless of whether or not you believe in the phenomenon of hair growing away from your locks, people have hair that grows like this. So let's agree to disagree and agree on the fact that people have hair that's breaking like this. Something that you can do is use the braid technique to braid that new growth back into the lock. I have a video, multiple videos showing you how to do this as well, okay? You can get your hair interlocked. You can use the instant dread method using a crochet hook. Okay? Hey, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you are notified every single time I upload. How about that? There are various solutions to this issue, this problem, okay? My personal favorite is the braid technique. So yes, my hairs aren't breaking, they're growing away from the lock, and I almost will have had locks for 8 years, so I got this. Alright, now that we've dealt with the drama, not from the comment, but just the general topic, and you know, it just took me back to where people, I always tell you, it's the people with the least amount of knowledge that are the self-proclaimed experts. Anyway, moving on. Getting to the happy comment. It's not a question, it's just a comment. I have to read this because I really love this. This comes from Zach from 330, or FRM. Okay, 330. Can't wait to get locked up. LOL. I've had my hair at 1 inch my whole life, and I'm 21 now, and I'm so done with that outright plain look. Dreads is the only hairstyle I've ever actually wanted. Anyway, so I'm a natural fit. Also a twin, and my twin is the same way. LMAO. When I read this, I did this because it really made me smile. I'm like, I love this. I love that excitement. I remember that excitement, even though it was almost 8 years ago. I remember just the enthusiasm that I had and just how elated I was at the idea of getting locks and then finally getting them, beginning that journey. And you know, this is what the lock journey is all about, that excitement. And yes, it tends to kind of, you know, become dull over time, but like, you still remember that excitement and you grow to love your locks in a way that you never could have at the beginning. At the beginning, it was more so about, okay, I'm excited about this journey. I'm excited I'm gonna have this look and I'm gonna do this and that with them. But then as time passes, the novelty wears off, as it does with most things. But if you truly got locks for, I won't say the right reasons, but for more, in my opinion, meaningful, deeper reasons, then you come to love them. You come to love the connection that you have with them. You come to love the idea of nurturing them. You develop a sense of pride at having taken care of them for so long and having them thrive, you know? So yeah, that's, I mean, it kind of morphs into something else, that excitement. It kind of morphs into like love, genuine love for them. So when I read this, it took me back and yeah, it just made me smile. So hopefully it made you guys smile too. If you choose to love, do so unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. This is Atreyu, and I will see you next time. Peace.